Hey Blazers, this episode is brought to you by Audible.com, an Amazon company. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Blaze Entertainment.
Or visit the sponsor and supporters links on our website at intotheblaze.com. With over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Now let's start the show.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's start the party. You're locked in to the hottest station on the planet.
What's going on, Blazers? We are back with another episode of Blaze Entertainment Spotlight Edition. I am your host, Kwame, joined by the fantastic, the beautiful, there's something in her eye, Miss Free. What are you doing?
I just feel like a pain in my eyeball. Anyways. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You hanging? I'm good.
I'm hanging in there. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
You?
I'm dandy.
Okay.
I found this new dating app and I'm loving it. You know.
Yes.
Yes, Bumble. Shout out to Bumble. But it's not about us, Miss Free. Today, it is a Spotlight edition with our newly found family member, Pyro Media family member, as well as singer-songwriter, host of the upcoming show show on Pyro Media Network, With Love, Xavi. And without further ado, Mr. Xavier Smith. What's up, boo?
How are you? That intro is everything. I felt like Beyonce at the Super Bowl.
I try. Well, welcome to the show. I've been trying to get you on the show forever.
I know. Thank you for having me. I listened to you and Miss Free, and I'm like, yo, this is like mad dope. I would love to do a podcast. And then when I told you were on board, and I was like, okay, but you guys have to interview me because I love the beautiful There's Something in Her Eyes, Miss Free.
We should do like video podcasts because your faces, girl.
It was literally like a pain in my eye for some reason.
But for those who don't know who you are, which I don't know, Blazers, you guys need to check out Xavier's Instagram as well as everything that Xavier does because he is an amazing human being. One of my really good friends, my sister from another mister, my little brother, love him, and he's just an amazing, huge-hearted person. And so for those who don't know, tell us who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Okay, so Kwame is like really gassing me up. Kwame knows that I love him to pieces. He is really gassing me. He know I ain't nothing but a trick. So I'm Xavier. I'm Xavier Smith, born and raised in Philadelphia, PA. I've been living in Los Angeles for 4 years now.
East Coast.
I am a Black gay man. So I have a lot to say, as you can already tell. So that's typically what I wanted to portray on my show. Just, the experiences of, being Black and being in Los Angeles and how pretentious this city could be. They're going to hate me for saying that, but how pretentious this city could be,
It's true. It be like that. It be like that sometimes. It's true.
Well, what is the goal of your podcast? Like, I'm first of all, I had a first listen of it, which I'm gonna have to let Miss Free listen to it, a little later. But I had the blessing of hearing that show, and first of all, it's hilarious, and I think it was well done. And I'm looking forward to your premiere. But what is your goal? What do you hope to have your audience, get from your show?
Thank you. So I appreciate that feedback because, I've always told you I look up to you in this whole podcast game. And congrats on getting on Spotify, y'all.
Thank y'all.
Shit.
Toot toot.
Thanks.
But to answer your question, so I've been through some, serious stuff. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make sure that, we keep people laughing. So that's just the basis of my show. Like, I think that people forget, like, real life situations, they may be hard, but at the same time, real life situations can also be a funny point. And I wanted to show people it's never bad to laugh at yourself. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the basis of my show.
Okay. And we noticed in your bio that you are a singer-songwriter, sir. And I was actually very surprised to hear that, as long as I've known you thus far, that I didn't know that you are Grammy nominated.
Shook it.
Yes, I am.
So tell us a little bit about that and why you got into that.
And how did you get into singing?
For sure.
Songwriting.
Okay, so Miss Free, to be 100% honest with you, I was broke, and I was like, you know what? I had to find another avenue of making some money, because it's either this or the strip club. So what I did was, I started, like, writing down my thoughts. I didn't really start writing until I got here. And in the process of being here, I met some great people, because I originally started off as a dancer. So I met some great people, and they introduced me to the likes of, like, Janae Aiko, Kalani, SZA. And I would tell them, like, hey, I write. And people are just like, oh, okay, that's cute. You know what I mean? Because everybody out here writes or does something.
Right.
And then they heard some of my stuff, and they were like, oh, this is actually really, really dope. I'm like, well, cut the check.
Right.
Now, if you don't mind me asking.
So that's kind of how I got into it.
If you don't mind me asking, because I like SZA and Janae Aiko, so what tracks did you write for those two? I'm just curious.
So for Janae Aiko, I referenced her unreleased track for Living Room Flow.
Okay.
I wrote that in Koreatown and sent that to her. She really enjoyed it. Now, I'm a horrible singer, so I'm glad that she was able to capture that, and she actually does it on tour. It's not available on iTunes or anything like that, but she actually does it on tour, because it actually became a very popular song. And then with SZA, shout out to SZA, I referenced The Weeknd, and then I also referenced Broken Clocks. So those two songs came from a very special place, and she recorded those, and they came out really, really good. As of last night, she was, nominated for the Grammy. She was up for 8, but she didn't win any of them. But just to be nominated again was truly a blessing. So I was happy to, meet her and to work with her. And hopefully, the next one, she does another track with me, or another 6 tracks. I need that check.
I know, that's right.
I still really do think she got snubbed. I was like, that's rude as hell.
Yeah, she did get snubbed.
Thank you.
We're not going to go there, because I'm a little angry. So. Right. We'll hold that.
See, this is the thing about the Grammys. This was the thing about the Grammys for me. So I was watching the Grammys, and I'm like, oh, okay, Kendrick Lamar's opening the show. This is going to be really, really cute. Then, my mind went off, and I was like, oh, well, Black Panther comes out in like 2 weeks. So this might be pro-Black. Let's hope for that. We get to like the middle portion of the Grammys, and 6 people who I've never heard of performed, and I was like, okay, should I switch to Real Housewives of Atlanta, or should I expect this to get better? And then Beyonce showed up, and she showed up, and I was like, okay, Beyonce gonna do something. She didn't do nothing. She just gave Blue Ivy a juice box. I was so disappointed.
But you saw the way Blue Ivy gathered them so quickly. Like, excuse me. Stop clapping.
Yeah, we're not clapping for the white people. We're not doing that.
She said, I didn't even want to be here anyway. Right. So I don't understand why we here. She said, Dad not going to win nothing because you messed that up for him. And you not up for nothing. So why are we here? Why are we here?
You're so stupid.
Well,
it's true though. but really though. So,
no, that's like some they actually had a meme of her. Not a meme. It was like a video of like Beyonce clapping, and Blue Ivy's like no. And in my mind, because me and Blue Ivy are like spirit animals, so in my mind, she's like, no, don't you clap. We're not here to do the most. We're here to do the least. I'm about to get up out of here. You need to be ready as well.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Because when I look to the left and I look to the right and it's time to go, it's time to go. That's it.
It's time to leave. Okay.
Right. Now, with so you do so much Xavier, and I think first of all it's very commendable, and I want to talk about one of the things that you do that a lot of people may not know. You are a huge HIV and AIDS prevention advocate, and so I know that you work, and this is how you and I have met. You work with and actually was one of kind of like the key I guess creators of Healthy Him, which is a program out of APLA, the AIDS prevention. Am I saying that right? Oops, I'm getting fired. The AIDS Project of Los Angeles.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Okay, because if I would have let you get away with it, they would have fired my ass too. Girl,
they would have been like,
damn.
They would have been like, thank you for your services.
Okay, you gotta go because you didn't say anything. And I'm like, what? Like, okay.
But it had nothing to do with me.
Right.
But I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yes.
What brought you to doing that? What inspired you to focus in the community in terms of doing AIDS and HIV prevention?
I think there's a need in my mind for, like I stated earlier, me being a Black gay man, there was a need for the representation to be out in the community. And we have some great people out there doing great work, but I always thought to myself, like, nobody out there looks like me. Mm-hmm. So the only way that, I would be able to see myself in this prevention, I would have to join it. So HIV became one of my passions because I felt like, if this is affecting our people, whether it be Black, whether it be gay, because it affects everybody, if this is affecting our people, how can I put myself in a position where I can, get people interested in helping and finding a cure? Because at the end of the day, I would love to see a cure for AIDS and HIV. I would love to see a cure for that. I think that I've been privileged enough to see, our first Black president, and I just want to keep that going. You know what I mean? I want to keep. It's going to be a lifetime of firsts for me. So I was like, you know what? Let me just join this cause. Let me figure this out with them. And that's how Healthy Him came about. I wanted a brotherhood. So being here from Philadelphia, I was like, I wanted something where people who came from all over the place, people, were here and couldn't find, like, that brotherhood. They could come to APLA Health and ask for Healthy Him. And, we're a brotherhood of just guys that, talk about some real shit. Mm-hmm. And we go through some real stuff. So it was always in my mind when I was coming up with the idea that I wanted to, come to an AIDS walk, you know what I mean, with all of my Healthy Him guys, and we just be like 60 deep. Like, this is the community. We're young. We care about this cause. I know you might not think that we do, but we do. And that's how I wanted to present Healthy Him.
Amen, brother. Mm-hmm. Amen. Yes. And
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
I definitely want to commend you because, I mean, like I said before, you I don't think people really, understand, they see, because you snatch, girl, you snatch. so they
summer 18 body on point.
So they see a lot. They see what they see, on social media, but they don't understand, the huge heart that you have. So I definitely want to commend you for the work that you do and the tireless work that you do, because I know that you be spending some hours, girl.
I appreciate that.
So
yes, thank you.
Keep it going, and thanks for being a great inspiration and a great role model for the community. So, but yes,
thank you so much.
Yes, and also I saw
underwear line.
Yeah. See, this is why you're my sister.
I have a question.
This is why you're my sister.
What kind of underwear? Like thong? Like boxer briefs?
Yes.
Like,
so you a designer now, girl?
Yes.
So you know what? When I had came up with the idea of I'm currently working on like my own mixtape as well, because writing for other artists, I was like, let me write something for myself. But that's besides the point. So I was coming up with, some other idea, like how can I get, I'm very sex positive. I love talking about sex. I love watching sex. I'm just saying. So I'm very sex positive. So it's like I wanted to come up with a line of underwear for men and women that would be, something that people could make their own. So when I came up with XXXX, it was like I was obsessed with the letter X because it's the first letter of my name. But X can be anything that you want. And it was like I wanted you to pick out the underwear that you wanted, that I designed, and I wanted you to come up with the 4 adjectives that you wanted to be: bold, sexy, powerful, fearless, whatever it was. And I wanted you to write those down when you bought that pair of underwear, because that's how you're going to live your life.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to live your life from here on out. So that was the idea, and I'm working on it, and I'm like the gay Martha Stewart. I'm like Matthew Stewart. Like, I'm doing this.
Yes.
Matthew.
Come on, Matthew Stewart. Bitch, listen. Yes. I'm living for that. So
yes.
So, with that being said, I know that unfortunately we're running out of time, and I can talk to you literally all day. But we do that anyway.
And we have.
So, but
Yes.
I wanted to kind of make sure that we highlight your upcoming podcast, which is premiering February 13th, 2018. So you guys check it out. Blazers, definitely check it out. I promise you, you're not gonna be disappointed. So definitely check out, with Xavi. And is it Xavi or Xavi?
It's Xavi. So
okay, I had it right.
Xavier is just, it's spelled Xavier. So it was like, I wanted to be like, fancy.
You better go ahead and own your classy.
Okay.
But definitely go ahead and check out With Love, With Love Xavi, the podcast, which is going to be premiering February 13th. And I'm super excited. I'm excited for you, but where else can, for people who want to know more, keep up to date with you and just find out, more information about you, where can they find you at?
Okay, so like Kwame said, the podcast premieres February 13th. If you ain't got no Valentines, you ain't got no Valentines on February 13th, spend it with me. So if you want to go on social media, you can type in on Instagram, and you can type in Xavi, Xavi, Tariq, TARIK.official. I had to change my Instagram name. I know it's fancy because someone tried to steal my name, and I wasn't having that. I wasn't having it. So I changed it to something more fancy. Try to keep up with that. The other Xavi on Instagram. I'm coming for that ass.
Well,
you better own your rights.
Okay, copywritten.
Yes,
honey.
All day. Well, thank you so much, Xavier. I really appreciate you joining us on the show. For those who want to know more about this podcast as well as the other shows on Blaze Entertainment, because we produce and announce. So definitely check out go to www.entertheblaze.com, and you can go ahead and find our sister podcast After the Blaze, as well as other spotlight interviews, and us, me and Miss Free.
Yes.
We're here. We're here to talk and shit every week, and we're here to just shoot the shit with y'all. And so we appreciate you guys. Xavier, thank you so much for coming on. And also, don't forget to check out our mother network, which now Xavier Smith is on. He is now a Pyro Media family member. Definitely go to www.pyromedianetwork.com to find all things next level.
And it's the cutest picture ever.
Yes, you really did take a good picture. Shout out to Eric.
I know, right? I was like, I'm super duper photogenic, so y'all better listen to this podcast. Because if you don't listen, they're gonna kick me off the network, y'all. They're gonna kick me off the network. Y'all better listen.
You're so stupid.
If you don't meet them numbers,
right? We have a quota.
Okay. Miss Free said if only 3 people listen, they'll be cutting you.
Thank you for your services.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Miss Free, you got anything else?
No.
All right, y'all. We are out.